When I get in trouble, the governor lives at East Cliff, however, temporarily while we're putting $10 million into a house on Summit that's worth $5 million. And so temporarily he's been living at East Cliff. If he's there now, it's very rarely because he's out on the campaign trail.
And you can tell when he's there because there are several black Suburbans there.
Well,
in the road,
there is a constant now law enforcement presence there. And if, let's say, you're and the intersection is Dayton and Otis Avenue in St. Paul. I'm not giving anything away; it's right there.
No,
and East Cliff itself fronts the River Boulevard. So if you wanted to get to River Boulevard from Otis, one of the ways you do is you'd zip down Dayton and then access Mississippi River Boulevard. Right. But that's blocked now every day. Dayton Avenue is blocked there, and we'll all live because it's not that busy of an access point. But there's always an SUV with somebody in it blocking it now. Would I get in trouble if I stopped and questioned the person in the SUV and said something to the effect that, why are we spending this money when this phony's not even here? Would I get in trouble?
I don't think you'd get in trouble.
I think you'd be told, to move along.
Right. You'd be politely, even if you walked up.
What God knows what this is costing the American taxpayer. Saturday night, a phalanx, I think is the right word, of St. Paul cop cars, lights going, came down Marshall and turned into Otis to go to East Cliff. I don't know if he was sneaking home for a couple of hours or what it was, but this is incredible, the money we're spending on this. Now, I know that it would be this way no matter who the vice presidential nominee was. I get all that. I understand. I'm sure Vance has the same kind of security around him. But what the hell do we have royalty in this country? This is getting crazy. Now, unfortunately, so is the populace. You might have somebody crawling on a hot tin roof.
Well, not only that here, just coming back from Chicago where they were setting up the DNC, where every public grass area has a fence around it, so you cannot gather and protest. But the number of bicycle cops and the number of SUV Suburbans, all blacked out,
they're all there,
with lights on.
They're all there.
If there were 1,000, you could not count as many because of all the people coming from DNC.
I just think your outrage is a little misplaced, especially since the Secret Service failed miserably in Pennsylvania.
You know what? My outrage, I bet, is grounded in my distaste for Walz.
I think you're right. Yeah. Before Chris, wait, Chris, let me go first. Are you still able to access eastbound Marshall from Mississippi River Boulevard, or do they have that ramp closed?
I haven't been down there. To my knowledge, yes, you can still access eastbound Marshall from Mississippi River Boulevard. I'll double check today.
I envision taking a long drive home today. I'll find out for you.
Okay.
Leaving here.
Completely apropos of nothing we're talking about, I want to give a shout out to the Minneapolis Star Tribune, now known as the Minnesota Star Tribune.
Great rebranding, huh? Just great.
Well, you can have fun with it, but I think it's a ray of hope in a day when newspapers are dying, when newspapers are struggling to be relevant, a day when nobody pays attention to newspapers. They still have enough energy and apparently enough financial backing behind them to take this important step. I think it's great. I think it's great. I don't like what they did to the typeface. I think they replaced a really traditional typeface with something I don't particularly like.
Isn't that the joke? Why the typeface?
No, but
long face.
My hat's off to them. There's probably no newspapers in the country that are announcing an expansion. That's just not happening.
I went by 2 Chicago Tribune buildings. One must have been.
That's nothing anymore. That paper doesn't even staff Illinois football games.
They got some nice real estate, though.
Are you talking about the one right on the river?
Are you talking about the big building on the river?
Yeah.
They're not there anymore. That's not
It
theirs.
says Chicago Tribune.
I know, but that's not their building anymore.
This typeface, or as we call it, the font,
Yeah.
it's the most liberal font I've ever seen in my life. Makes me want to take a shower every time I read something. It's just gross.
Well, I don't know how you arrive at the idea that a font in and of itself is liberal. That didn't.
That's
occur
horrible,
to me.
Joe. It's
Yeah,
just awful.
I think Kenny's playing show
You must do
business.
something about this.
But I
Let's do
congratulate
something
him.
about this font.
I wish the Pioneer Press had an owner like Glenn Taylor. This is
They had any balls, they'd
No.
go with Comic Sans,
What
the
was
best
your-
font ever made.
What was your line last week?
I don't
Every
know.
office that the Pioneer Press has.
We're
is,
all remote.
is
Yeah.
And Kenny's line was, "It's a pamphlet now, not a newspaper."
Yeah.
Oh, did
It's
we
the fold
redesign
out.
Now
the
I'm
pamphlet?
trying to be
maps.
nice here, and you idiots keep screwing it up.
Sorry.
I just never thought I'd see the day where you're sucking up to the Star Tribune.
It's not. I would
What are you
hardly
doing?
consider it that.
Oh,
I'm
you've got
merely.
your nose buried.
Are you aware of the fact that newspapers are in desperate straits in this country? And
A
here's
simple
one.
marketing-
Here's
yeah,
one
you know-
that is stepping forward to say, "Look what we've just done."
No,
Okay,
Ken-
good for you, Star Tribune, and don't listen to the rest of these idiots.
Ken, you-
I'm
a
still
marketing
going
ploy
to find fault with your
will
coverage.
Save this paper.
No.
It's a simple marketing
Ken, you know
ploy.
what this is?
Of course it is, but
would-
it's wonderful.
It would be like anytime someone filled in for Joe and Pat on the radio days, and we'd kiss up to them, thinking that, well, we probably are going to need a job here, and a
That's
couple of.
exactly
That's
what
what
he's
this
doing.
is.
Yeah.
He's not listening.
He's not.
You're idiots. You're just idiots.
Yeah.
I
Well, we're
like
not
the
denying
paper,
that.
so
We'll
don't
see.
call me an idiot.
You're a couple of
You-
liberals.
Don't call me a
Don't
you.
call me a
Call me a
You're
you.
a couple of Walz supporters is what you two are.
It's so rare.
How
It's
rare
just
is
so rare to have this happen that I just think it's. Now, I don't like their logo because it looks too much like the new state flag.
Oh, I'm sure that's
Exactly.
just purely a coincidence.
Yeah. I'm surprised you noticed
Let's
that
see.
while you
Wait,
had your
who-
nose buried
Who
so
runs
deep.
the strip?
Walz's buddy, Steve
Oh,
Grove.
God,
Uh-huh.
that's so weird.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
really?
they look at
And
they.
you love it.
I rest my word stand as the
Uh-huh.
official position of the entire show. How do you like
Minnesota Stan Tribune.
that? Now we had 4 kids shot last night in Minneapolis. No, I'm sorry. It must have been early Sunday morning.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of whom was 11. A group of 2 boys and 3 girls, and they were all between 11 and 14 years old. They were all in a stolen Kia. All right.
Strike 1.
2 of whom had been arrested 2 weeks previously for a stolen car.
Strike 2.
And they were fired at with a fully automatic gunfire. 2 of the boys and 2 of the girls were taken to the hospital. One of the girls is reportedly in critical but stable condition after being shot in the head. Okay. What I don't know is the 11-year-old was either a boy or a girl. I don't know. Because of the age, the 11-year-old was returned to the parents. I'm not sure
Maybe
that's
a
gonna-
ray of hope.
I'm not sure that's going to do the 11-year-old any good. If the parents were any good at all, the 11-year-old wouldn't have been riding around in a stolen car at 1 a.m.
True.
Right.
But parents might be plural, which
Who knows?
Claiming to-
I have no idea.
You're far too optimistic. Tell me something,
True.
Such. Why did all the TV stations and the Minnesota Stan Tribune refer to these delinquent minors as kids and children when they are, in fact, delinquent minors, criminals? And they give them the lovely title of children,
I don't know.
innocent kids.
Probably because of their ages. I mean, this is an extraordinarily young group.
They're delinquent minors. They're guilty. They should be in jail.
One of the kids is the one that got shot in the head's a girl. She's 12, but the other kids suffered non-life-threatening injuries. An 11-year-old boy, Jesus.
Yeah.
The 5th minor, an 11-year-old boy, was detained after police discovered the Kia was stolen. Now he can't be charged because of his age. So he is the one who was returned to his parents. It's a male child.
That's ridiculous.
And
It's absolutely ridiculous. They're criminals. They should be in jail.
And I used this line last week. I'm going to use it again. He's 11. In this state, we're so bass-ackwards, he's not legally allowed to ride in the front seat.
He'd be allowed to change his gender.
Right. But he can't ride in the front seat because,
The cars that are being stolen, particularly among juveniles, this is according to Chief O'Hara, are connected to more and more serious crimes. And across the board, that means robberies, assaults, you name it, O'Hara said. It just shows the brazen and callous behavior. They don't care about their own lives, let alone the lives of other people. Now, I'm seeing this in my daily life, that these kids, I'm holding out scant hope for some of these kids. Because I don't get any paper delivery worth paying for, I went out Sunday morning to buy the papers, particularly because I wanted to see the debut of the new Minnesota Star Tribune. Mine finally arrived at 20 minutes to 1, but I went out and got them at 8:30 in the morning.
Was
And
it
they
Roller Dog Day?
they were breaking in a new kid at the counter at the store. And he was absolutely flummoxed that I was buying newspapers. A teenage kid.
Didn't know how to ring her in?
He didn't even know
No.
What
He
are those paper
said,
things?
well, you must like papers. I said, yeah. He said, why do you get a paper? And I said, why?
I wish this was on video.
I said, well, look,
Here's the deal,
Did
bud.
the CP call him and prompt him to say that? And there's going to be an old guy coming in there.
Give him the business.
and I said, well, they're important. He goes, why? I said, well, business, crime, politics, sports, it keeps you up on the day.
Tuna fish
He
recipes.
said, oh, man, that's crazy. I don't do that. I said, where do you get your news? You get your news on the phone? He went, yeah, I get my news on the phone. I just did.
Did you ask him who he's voting for?
Oh, he's just honest to God, everything's just.
Well, that whole generation does that. I tell you what, at the fair, why don't you ask my kid when he's playing guitar with me where he gets his news, and if he ever reads a newspaper?
They don't even read books, Joe.
Yeah, I know, Kenny. I know.
Okay, Joe.
I just wasn't made for these times.
I wish we could play that.
I just wasn't made for these times. It's we live in ridiculous times, and the times are so ridiculous that you got 11-year-olds out at 1 a.m. stealing cars.
Criminals.
Young criminals.
What about holding the parents accountable? If there's a parent that knows that their 11-year-old is out at 1 a.m., that is problematic.
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Go.
I think it's a pretty sturdy limb.
Let's go.
If your kid is out in a stolen Kia at 1 a.m, that's not the first time your kid's been out at 1 a.m.
My wife floated the trial balloon that, possibly the parents are working. I said, I might buy that at 10 p.m., but I wouldn't buy that at 1 a.m.
on a Sunday morning.
Maybe the parents are already in jail.
Well, the kid got returned to the parents, so
See you next Tuesday.
it's just a shame. These kids need a lot of, and no program can change this. No amount of money can change this. No Kamala Harris making them less than can change this. By the way, that's what this festival will be in Chicago this week. It'll be the Less Than Festival.
Did you say Kamala Harris?
Mm-hmm.
Lay it on us.
I have a new game we should introduce here in Garage Logic.
Yeah.
Is Kamala Harris drunk while she's speaking into the microphone?
Try to figure out what the hell she's talking about here.
The bus has Wi-Fi and even USB outlets next to every seat. I mean, come on, imagine. You can charge your phone on your way home from work. That's good stuff.
Thank you.
That's it?
Joe, you get right out of the bus, and she's right there, and you can charge your phone.
You got to play the other one, Chris.
I
where
was
she's
waiting
just
for you to set it up, Ken.
completely babbling about who the hell knows what. I don't know. Listen to
And
it.
that's
Try
what
to-
our election is about. Our election is about understanding the importance of this beautiful country of ours in terms of what we stand for around the globe as a democracy.
We're a republic.
As a democracy,
Constitutional
we know
republic.
there's a duality to the nature of democracy. On the one hand, incredible strength when it is intact. What it does for its people to protect and defend their rights, their liberty, and their freedom. Incredibly strong and incredibly fragile.
Yeah.
So it's good guys, Democrats, against the Republicans. Bad guys.
I only heard it earlier. I didn't see the video accompanied with it that the Soul Man sent me. The best thing, Ken, about that video is the ding ding Pennsylvania for Harris sign behind her, where it looks like you had a bunch of
crayon?
fourth graders that drew up the thing.
Is this the thing you were going to spring on me Friday?
No.
No.
That's fun stuff.
Is that
It
ever
won't
going to
make you
happen?
angry.
Maybe.
But back to these kids in Minneapolis, there was a group. It was a bishop, and he was on TV. They were in a circle holding hands.
Channel 5?
Yeah.
I saw it.
And I said, okay, we can't, holding hands and talking about this won't solve it. But the bishop said, we need to hold these parents responsible.
Which I shouted out, thank you.
Yeah, same thing. Okay, that's great. Bring the parents. Where are they? Who are they? We want to know.
Where are they at?
Tell the mayors, tell your governor, tell everybody.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Dang, baby.
It
Tell the
doesn't
governor.
make any difference going on TV and making that announcement. It's not helping anybody.
It's not. But how do we jump over the line of we are holding them accountable or calling? Who has to call them out? Members of the Black community? Because they're not going to listen to the DFL or what's his name, Fry, with the new program. We got enough programs.
Did I tell you? Did I mention the series I started watching called A Man in Full? Did I
Yes.
mention that on the air?
You did.
No.
The old Tom
the air.
Wolfe novel, A Man in Full.
Yeah.
And I've read everything Tom Wolfe's written, and I love it. I was surprised. It's Jeff Daniels plays Charlie Crow.